What are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Oh. Got my little helper with me today. She's like, why are you holding me? Why are you holding me up like this? You wanna go? Are you good? Can you sit and hold still for a minute? No, that's a no? Okay. I'm sorry. You can go. How's it going? Welcome back. We're back in my garage. I know like 2 videos ago I had talked about I had a bunch of parts coming in that I was waiting on for us to do anything with this car. I've actually done a few things to this car since we last videoed it. Next on the agenda is getting this rear end built. I bought an SN95 Mustang rear end and front spindles and brakes and everything like that from a buddy of ours, and I've kind of started to work on that a little bit. SN95 swap is pretty common. Foxbody and SN95 stuff is pretty interchangeable. I've always thought as the SN95 as pretty much, especially the earlier ones with the 5 liter, as a Foxbody with just a different body. There are a lot of similarities between the 2 cars. Most of the time when you see people going 5 lug, they just pick up SN95 stuff. Some people buy Ranger stuff. I've even seen Explorer stuff on a lot of the Foxbody forums. I just chose to go with SN95. Its parts are just as easy to come by. Replacement parts are everywhere. I also got a manual rack. I was able to find one for stupid cheap. It was something I had been waiting on, mostly because like companies like Flaming River, their racks are like stupid expensive for just a manual rack. Like Flaming River's racks are like anywhere from $200 to $300, and I see people even reselling them for that, and not a lot cheaper. This specific manual rack came off of it was supposed to be going into a Mustang 2, but after some research I found that it could also work on this, so I went ahead and picked one up. Here's the spindles I was talking about. I've already cleaned them up and painted them. Pretty much everything I get used for this car, if it comes off another car, it's gonna get cleaned up because I want this thing pristine when it's put together. I ordered Motorcraft hubs for these spindles, so they just gotta be pushed on there, and then nuts gotta be put back on. I tried to find some without the ABS ring. This car is not gonna have ABS. I was unable to find any without the ABS ring, so we got it. There's the hubs. Also, update as far as the chassis goes, I'm supposed to have a guy coming to weld the tube frame or the tube front here very soon. I'm just waiting on him to get back to me. There's the manual rack like I was just talking about. It is in the car. I just have to order the, I forgot what it was, the stock 79 steering shaft has a different spline than what this takes, so all I have to do is order another steering shaft that's splined to fit this one, and we'll be good to go. These front struts gotta go. We didn't anticipate using them anyway, but the biggest reason they have to go is, and this is another difference between the SN95 and the Foxbody, but the strut mounting points. I'm gonna stick this in here. If you look, so here's the strut mount. This is what you get with an SN95 spindle on a Foxbody strut. See that gap? They're not quite as wide as they need to be. So along with using SN95 spindles, you need to get SN95 front struts. Now on to the fun stuff. So I've got 5 lug 31 spline Yukon axles, Moroso extended wheel studs for those axles, new ball joints for the tubular lower control arms, because as you can see, these are destroyed, so it's getting some new ball joints. Pinion flange, more bearings, axle bearings. I got a 31 spline Cobra diff, which is a beauty. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Here is the diff unwrapped. It is quite pretty, nice and new. Got the ring and pinion set, brand new set of 410s, and of course, the any final touch to a new rear end. is a pretty new diff cover. Super excited about this. All of those new parts are for this SN95 rear end. I pulled the cover off because I wanted to see what was inside. And I've also pulled the axles out. They're over here. Those are garbage. Not going to be using those at all. The goal of what I'm doing today is pretty much just getting the rest of the stuff off this rear end, like these control arms. I'm going to take this flange off, and I have to heat these up to press these upper control arm bushings out. Pretty much the whole goal of all this is just like it was with the spindles. Anything used I get is going to be made to, or it's pretty much going to be rebuilt and made to look new or be new. We'll do a nice black on this entire housing and just get it refreshed. It should be a good rear end for what we're trying to achieve. Now that I've explained all that and kind of shown it off, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And yes, I have the LS on the stand right here in front of the car, and I am using that as motivation because recently I've needed it. But look how good it is. Look how good it looks. So I wish I would have filmed all that, but I was fighting with this ear for a while. I said we got to push out these bushings, right? This rear end is from a 94 GT, and with that, these are the original bushings. So the rubber right here, they've got a sleeve where your bolt will go, and then there's another outer sleeve that presses into where the ear of the housing is. I knew they were going to be tough. I just didn't know how tough, but I think I just figured out a way after about 40 minutes of fighting with this thing. I got I got this one out, and basically what I did was able to eventually hammer this sleeve out. I heated all this up to make the rubber nice and, I don't know, like loose. Took my drill bit, swirled it around there, swirled it around this part, and got the rubber out. Then from there I was able to take a Sawzall, cut the sleeve. You can see kind of the line. I went a little deep. I'll try not to go as deep on the other one. It shouldn't affect it at all. But cut a line out of the sleeve, then take a chisel or a punch and punch around it, and then hammer it right out. I just fought with that bushing for maybe, like I said, like 40 minutes until I figured out a good way to do it. They make a tool for it. Am I gonna buy it? Absolutely not. I'm hoping to only do this once. So I'm gonna go on the next one. All right, after fighting with that first one, that second one only took me maybe 5 minutes, and now we have clear housing ears. Hell yeah. All right, so I did not get to film all of it. Those lower control arms did not want to come out. There's no telling how long they had been seized. David Adams. But the housing is bare. Moan brackets are off of it. The end plates are off of it. It's a little late. It's getting dark outside, as you can see. So like I said, we'll scuff it and paint it tomorrow. But I am wore out tonight. I'm gonna try to go get some sleep. just got up. Daniel should be on his way here soon with some of the tools we need to put this rear end together. I'm gonna spend this little bit of time I have before he gets here finishing up painting this housing. I got kind of busy. I pulled that all apart on Wednesday. I had something going on Thursday, and then last night I got home kind of late. So I'm a little bit behind, but I'm gonna make sure it gets done. And actually I'm gonna start by getting the GTO backed out of here. That way we have a lot more room to work today because it's pretty packed in here. I don't have the biggest garage in the world.
Lead us not into
A few moments later.
All right, I just got done painting this rear end, and man, like what a difference. It's still got some drying to do, and I've got a few little spots I'm sure I'll touch up that I'll see when it's dried. But wow, I'm really happy with how it's coming out. Now, I will say, you don't have to do stuff like this, and I know that, but there's just like a part of me that I just can't let it go in the car looking bad. We could have just thrown that rear end, or put the rear end together, thrown it in the car, and just left it how it is. But this whole entire journey of doing this Mustang is kind of just about making it how I want to. Obviously, we really only care about it going fast and whatnot, but anytime I can help it, anytime I can make a part look better or just feel better to me, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And part of that with this rear end was just cleaning it up, grinding it all the way down, painting it, and I think a lot of times when you take the time to do that kind of stuff, you'll be a lot more proud of the end result. Still waiting on Daniel. He just called me a little bit ago. He's at the shop picking up some tools, and then we'll probably get some lunch and we'll get to it. We should have a fully built 8.8 by the end of the day. All right, Daniel has made it. We just had some canes, and we're now gonna get to work on this. Daniel, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
He works at a Ford dealership, so this should be super easy to him.
Might have been a month or two since I built a diff, but it's not that bad. That stinks.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Old ass gear oil. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. So.
The old diff.
Bearings aren't chewed up, so that's good.
You rotate it?
Yep. We're not gonna mess around too much. Come on. That was easy.
At least I don't need that.
Yeah. I love this hammer so much.
It is nice.
It's anti-vibe. One. There's two. Oh. Essentially it's race driver and beat them.
No real science to it, just to get them in.
Yep. Go. That feels like it's in. Yep, that's in.
Cool.
And this, it's aluminum, so it doesn't damage your steel race. Get this puppy turned over. Nice dry surface.
The trust I have in you is unreal to not smack me with that hammer.
That's in. So this lets you set the shim needed for the pinion.
Gotcha.
For how deep it goes into the diff. So then you do this, you bolt it down with the caps.
And it gives you a very accurate.
Yes. This whole tool arrangement just takes the place of the pinion and the diff carrier. It tells you, right, where is everything in
The
relation
true depth,
to the case.
without having to put the actual.
Yeah. And all you gotta do is just take your shims and just see which one fits.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, alright, no double on nothing.
Let's take the next thickest, which is this guy. That's too tight.
Yep.
Let's try this guy. God, they're all stuck together. Still too tight.
Yep.
Still too tight. And this. You can push that one through.
It looks like it slides pretty easy, so
Yeah.
just a touch more.
Try this guy. Oh, we're closer. Too tight. Gosh dang. Eventually.
That's how it goes.
Try this. Oh. Pickup might be a little thicker. Alright, so just in case I didn't get that footage, pretty much you have shims and you have to kind of, you don't want a super tight fit and it can't be super loose, but it's got to have some resistance between the pinion and this tool, or sorry, these two tools.
Yeah, this sets how far the pinion sits into the housing in relation to the green gear.
So we found our two shims that you stack together that make it fit, and we're gonna go with them.
Yep.
Alright, so we have our new pinion, and pretty much you take those shims that we just measured for, and they slide right over it, and they should be the right depth for what we just measured. And if they're not, I don't really know.
But I'll make sure before we fully do it.
Yes. And also went with 410s. They should be good. Everything I've read for what we're trying to accomplish, for a lot of people just run 410s. But yeah, we got a brand new wing and pinion set.
This pairing needs to be pressed onto there because obviously it needs to be a very tight fit.
Okay.
It's not gonna lose.
Which we don't have a press here, so we're gonna go on a little field trip and to the shop and press that on. Hopefully that's the only thing we'll have to run to the shop for.
I believe so.
We'll think if there's anything else, we'll try to figure out now before we go.
Yeah.
But, alright.
See you there.
Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Well, if I do that, I'll take my shirt off. Hey, baby.
How are you?
Harder than algebra?
Harder than algebra. Say something funny.
I just look funny. I don't have to say nothing funny.
There's the press. Do the trick.
I think it's really cool how we can just teleport here all of a sudden.
Yeah. The magic of cameras.
I don't know what to do, so I don't know.
What do you do with your hands? Ricky Bob yet?
Huh?
Have you never seen Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like this in the interview. He's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Daniel's good at everything.
Daniel's really, really good on camera.
Am I?
Yeah, he is.
He's good at everything he does.
He is good at everything he does. He won't admit it, but he is.
I don't know about all that. Got the shims on, I'm sure.
That would be unfortunate if they were.
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
Are we safe here?
You never say.
Oh god. Oh god, it's Timmy.
Chain up! Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere! I got you for 3 minutes! 3 minutes of playtime!
Alright. It's on. Bearing still spins, so that's good.
Great success.
5 tons does a lot of wonders.
Yeah. All right, we'll get the diff.
Yep. Hang on. There we go.
Perfect.
And I'll just do the same thing. Should be good. Oh yes. And there it is. Oh my.
Give you a tickle tickle.
Oh my. Plenty of axle tubes.
Give me that torch real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. There might be a good idea to go and take the axle bearings up. Make sure we can clean up this housing nice and good. You're gonna have to hold this there. Maybe. Wow, that came out real easy. I've struggled in the past. That's why.
That was, you might not even have, well, that didn't seem that difficult at all.
Found some metal shavings restood in the housing over there.
Yeah, there were a ton right here in this groove that had made its way, I guess, down the axle tube and were in there. But I got them out with a, well, I could probably grab another magnet, but I used a magnetic tip screwdriver and pulled them all out and kind of wiped around in here.
I'm not sure where they came from.
It doesn't really matter where they came from, but
We're gonna get rid of them.
probably bearing material.
Someday. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Alright. Pinion bearing, oil slinger. Just to kind of helps the oil that's come from in there to just stay in the bearing so it doesn't lose lubrication. Bam, ready.
Easy peasy.
Knock this guy in. Not the proper way, but oh, shoot. Boom. Feed it up. Bottom. Okay. I'm gonna use this for holding the flange in
Which
place.
I bought the
as we
new
tighten.
nuts, which are in that bag. Are you about to ask me if I have 12 point sockets?
You get wrenches, don't you?
I get 12, some 12. No, I don't have any 12 points. I have standard 12 points.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it.
I'll look through the top drawer.
You can do it.
Okay.
You can do it.
Great quality right there, baby.
Harbor Freight.
Just need to kind of cinch these down a bit.
Get the big
All right.
boy.
Yes.
We were going to use my gun, but Daniel's not confident that Hercules can do the crush
I
sleeve.
mean, it might. That's good. The way I tell if it's good is how far this, which actually that's pretty damn close. Let me tighten that up.
A little bit more.
Yeah, just to be sure. So ideally, this bar should just swing down and kind of stop there.
Instead of coming back.
Yes, it shouldn't just fling around.
So it needs a little bit tighter because it's coming back down, right?
Just like a hair,
Just a little, an ugga.
literally.
It needs an ugga, not even a dugga.
Yeah. I like it.
It doesn't come back.
Yep.
It just falls.
So it's good. There's an actual technical way to do this, but
You don't need technical.
supposed to use like an inch-pound torque wrench and monitor record how hard it is to actually turn it. It just took this off and we're pinions installed.
Yep.
Feels good. No weird spots. Ford wants you to put a little ring of retaining compound. This is not technically retaining compound, but let's see why it wouldn't work.
We could get philosophical. What is retaining compound anyway?
Yeah.
What really is retaining compound?
A little bit of this on the bolts. Red thread locker never hurt anybody. It's not the most fun way to do this. And otherwise, we just don't have a mount it to a bench. We don't have any way to mount it to the bench. Right
I
now.
am the mount to the floor.
Gotta go kind of tight, like 100 foot-pounds. So yeah, run them down with this first. Which are all gonna get up to.
We're about to find out how much stronger Daniel is than me.
I'll have some leverage on this side.
We should just put a quick change in the car.
Whether it's quick change.
What?
Winters.
Yeah. That's big money. But think about how easy it'd be to go. Oh, I'm running 8th mile this round.
Yeah.
Quarter mile next round.
Next.
Within 15 minutes, we go from 410s to
Right.
330s.
100 foot-pounds.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not that easy down here on the floor.
There it is.
There's one.
You're pulling me with you. I'm fighting for my life right now. Jesus!
Alright.
We gotta do something better.
Yeah. It's just, we need some kind of leverage that acts against.
There we go. Why are we poor? Oh, there's the vice.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
We're falling under the vice.
Go. Yes. Yes.
So these are easier where they're closer to the center.
We're on a roll now. Yeah. There's two ways of going about things. You either have money and you do it the right way, or you're poor and you just have a little bit of sense.
Yeah. And just brute force things sometimes.
You can tell which one we are.
Oh, we're good. We have complete differential ready to throw in. Just gonna do a run with the original bearings and see where our measurements are at. Or the original shims. Kind of a technique. That is not the technique. Did not go so well.
That was not the technique.
Technique.
I'll get you started.
Yeah, we got about 3,000, which is nowhere near enough. So we will be not using these shims. Need to move the diff this way slightly to that side, because that'll bring it away from the pinion and get more space in between it.
So basically, we measured these guys right here. They go in here like this. We measure the left and right side, and left came out to be 283, the right is 263. So really that right side needs to be added. What was that? That's 10 thousandths of an inch to get them, and then that'll put them both at 273.
So it's gonna need to add to the right and subtract from the left, and just so happens that makes them both 273.
Right.
73 thousandths of an inch.
So we're going through some of these ones he brought over and trying to measure
Just
one.
our spare shims from work.
And he's found one
That is perfect.
273. If you can. That's yeah. So we'll be able to use that one. We just need another one like that.
285, 260, 281, 285. Battery's dying. It's fine. 258.
Too small.
265. 277.
That's closest to the one side.
Which, if nothing else, I might add a little bit of preload.
So we got a 273.
277, 276, 277.
That's not bad.
Yeah. That's pretty close.
We'll try them out.
Yep. Ideally.
Ooh.
Persuasion. Alright, new shims. Already feels a lot better. Actually feels like we have some kind of backlash. So we kind of... Oh, look at that. Beautiful. 9 thousandths. 9, 10 thousandths, depending. It's right where we want it.
First try!
First try, every try. Here they gave us some marking compound. Might as well try it out.
Squeeze!
I'm trying. So inside and outside.
So we took out the original caps that were in the rear end. The kit I bought came with ARP studs and nuts. So we're putting those in now. They just go in here like this.
That'd be real nice.
Should be better than factory.
Be a lot stronger, not necessarily need them.
But 4 of them like that, and then you just have a nut. Diffs in is torqued down. All the ARP bolts. Pulled the pin out. We're getting ready to stick the axles in, but before the axles, we have to put in the axle seals and bearings.
Yeah, the bearings help.
And then we'll stick them in. Look at this chaos. Chaos. What are you doing? You remind me of those Bluebell cheese wheels that you peel up. Woo!
Yeah. Nice, beautiful new axles.
That thing is girthy.
Some really thick spines. These Moser, you said? Or
Yukon.
Yukon axles, yeah. They look to be pretty good. Let's see how she looks. We don't have the studs in place. We'll have to do that later, but it's not going in the car yet, so. Nice and easy.
Ooh. She's in.
Boom.
Ooh.
Tolerances are so tight you don't even need them. Alright.
Take this off.
Somewhere up there.